How do we find Jesus in the disguise of the poor? This is the million-dollar question. Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. I'm delighted to be the host of our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is going to be a great day for inspiration. How do we find Jesus? How do we find God in the disguise of the poor? A question central to the middle of this pandemic. We will again turn to our friend Mother Teresa of Calcutta and see what the missionaries of charity have to offer this most important conversation. Second part will be our morning practice. We will do a 20-minute silent meditation. I will ring the bell to get us started. Then we will let go of thinking, the hamster wheel, the monkey mind. Simply listen to the traffic or tune in to the sensations of the body. Third part will be our Jesuit examine, where we will pause rather than jump up and move into our day like monkeys with knee-jerk reactions. Ignatius invites us to be differently, to actually pause, turn the gaze inwards. We'll reflect over the last 24 hours and notice where love, joy, compassion, God showed up in our everyday, ordinary lives. I couldn't be more excited to begin with Mother Teresa and finding Jesus in the poor. I believe it is at the very heart of the Jesuit mission to be contemplatives in action, to offer Christ to the world, and to respond to the most urgent needs of suffering. No one paints a better picture for how to do this, in my humble opinion, than Mother Teresa. Let's begin. If we say we have no sin, the truth is not in us. Another infant lived at Sishu Bhavan, perhaps only 5 months old, with whom I was much less holy. He was badly deformed and always seemed to be miserable. Sister Joachim always appeared when it was that time to feed him. And to tell you the truth, in my heart, I was glad. She would draw him very close to her and look at him as though he was the most important child in the world. She would speak to him and touch him as though he was returning her affection. But he never did. If he looked at you, it was always out of misery. When I was near him, I felt I was part of his misery. One day, when feeding time was over, the babies were falling asleep in their bassinets, and I was getting ready to go. I had hung up my cotton apron and was collecting the water bottle from the top of a very tall cabinet. I glanced at the infants as I started out and noticed that undigested formula was dripping out of this child's bassinet. He had thrown up what must have been the entire 8-ounce bottle. Looking around quickly for someone to tell as I left, I saw no one in the infant area, and the few other adults in the room had their hands full with other children. So I decided with no little struggle to stay and clean up the whole mess. I put on my apron again, lifted the little baby out of his bassinet, and held him on my shoulders as I began to gather the dirty sheets together and use them to wipe up the mess. As I was cleaning, I heard a muffled sound from the little infant in my arm. Tears were pouring out of his eyes, and the only sound he could make was a convulsive sob. As I looked at him, I saw in myself what Jeremiah called that desperate wickedness of the heart. I realized I had approached this task with a spirit of resistance and impatience. We all know this spirit. I had thought very little, if at all, about this child and his needs, other than to be clean. As I threw the sheets in the laundry pile, I began to bathe his little misshapen body and to change his clothes. Afterwards, I held him to me as tightly as I had seen Sister Joaquin do. I looked at him, rocked him, and prayed. I was given the grace in those moments to expect absolutely nothing. And I suddenly received something much, much greater. In a short time, the baby was asleep. With one arm, I found a new sheet, tucked it in the bassinet, and laid him down. In those moments, I saw this child for the very first time as he really was, as the missionaries of charity saw the baby. Jesus, in the distressing disguise of a poor, a lame, a hurting child. Amen. Alleluia. Go, missionaries of charity. In virtue ethics, they say the most important question is not who am I, but who do I want to become? This morning, we get a beautiful model of what is possible for the human person. I would like to suggest there is no way to get there without a morning meditation practice. Like Cardinal Bernardine said again and again, let's give the first hour of the day to God and let the rest of the day unfold as it will. Let's begin. So I invite you to take off your shoes, get comfortable. I'm going to lower the lights. One of the ways we flourish is to unplug. So turn off all technology. I've got the timer. Oh gosh, not an hour and 31 minutes. Let's see. We've got the timer set for 20 minutes. I will ring the bell, and then we will drop down to the ocean floor, turn the attention to the traffic or external sounds, or just tune into the sensations of the body. Let's get ready to explore the miracle of mindfulness.
Hmm.
Gently bring your attention back to the room. If the eyes were closed, open the eyes, circle the wrist one way, then the other, circle the shoulders, reverse the train. Excellent. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lower. Two more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time. Inhale, lift. Stretch to the right and then to the left. Release. Shake out anything you've been holding on to. And let's move into the Ignatian Jesuit Examen. Moving from a place of the heart of gratitude, we just simply look over the last 24 hours, and I invite the community literally across the globe to chime in. We had some new members yesterday. If you're new, just tell us where you're from. Join us in the Examen. Put in where God's come alive for you recently, and meet other people in this great contemplative and action community here on our Jesuit campus at Blessed Sacrament in Hollywood. So let me begin. The first thing that came to mind was for people who know me, I'm a huge moviegoer, and having the cinemas closed has been a real challenge for me. It's been one of the biggest losses of the pandemic for me. However, last night we watched that movie, I think it's Notting Hill, with Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. And I love Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, so it couldn't go wrong. I can't believe I've never seen that movie, but I absolutely loved it. So that was, just a very fun evening after the food pantry on Tuesday. It was a great way to wind down. Second was yesterday was the usual Flourishing and Recovery group, and we've added something to the group, which are people who've been recently housed are now ambassadors. So they actually helped in the group and gave out healthy snacks and tea, and just made it a lot easier for me to facilitate the group with them, helping get it set up during the meeting and putting it away. So that was really great. And I think the third thing you can already guess, just by my affect, that it's no secret that I love Mother Teresa of Calcutta. What an inspiration she is for the church, for all of us. But that reading today, thank you, Susanna Funston, for the book. I'm slowly working my way through it, but I loved the description of how we find Jesus disguised in the poor, and what a beautiful discovery that can be. So thank you everyone for tuning in on this beautiful Wednesday. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.